Everyone, and welcome to another episode based around Prehistoric Planet. So, Prehistoric Planet 2 is finished. I really enjoyed the series. I know others thought it was maybe a bit rushed in some cases and a bit too short. I mean, I would have obviously loved to have seen more. Um, but this isn't a review of Prehistoric Planet 2 this time. So this is the whole roster in the Prehistoric Planet series, so Prehistoric Planet 1 and 2 combined, to get this many species. And I think it's more than walking with dinosaurs. So let's begin with the dinosaurs. So anything that, well, is a dinosaur. So non-dinosaurs come a bit later. So we start with the first dinosaur we see, Tyrannosaurus rex. The largest land predator of the late Cretaceous, of the Maastrichtian, I should say, bigger than Tarbosaurus and some of the other large predators that have been seen throughout the series, where we see it traveling through the water to an offshore island to feed on a dead turtle, escaping a mosasaur. We also see the courtship displays in fresh water. Um, we see them hunt at night in swamps, and we see one protect a carcass from scavengers in North America. Yeah, but T-Rex, by far the most famous of the dinosaurs, was perfect to start season 1 off with. Um, the next dinosaur we see is actually Dreadnoughtus. So T-Rex was really the only dinosaur in Coast. So we move swiftly over to Dreadnoughtus, where it uses theorized gular air sacs that inflate along their necks as a form of display, and we see them wrestle, and yeah, it's a pretty awesome fight. And and the community says that it is the best in season 1. I should probably see which one's better, Dreadnoughtus or T-Rex versus Quetzalcoatlus. Might put that up when I'm done doing this video. Yeah, so they are large titanosaurs from South America, and you probably already know that. I'm not going to go into too much detail explaining what these animals are, as if you're watching this video, you've seen the series, so you know what these animals are. We then see Tarbosaurus, which is actually the next dinosaur, because I'm pretty sure we head straight to Asia, and then we see the lizard first, and then the Tarbosaurus. We then get our first look at Velociraptor, which appears, I should probably say the Tarbosaurus shows up in deserts, but then in Badlands next season, or in season 2. So Velociraptor appears in this episode hunting lizards, well, in deserts hunting lizards. In Badlands, it does a bit of hunting, and I believe that, and in freshwater in season 1 we see it hunting as dark pterosaurs. So yeah, most accurate Velociraptor put to screen. Moving on, we have Mononychus, the little, is it the Alvarosaurid theropod? I hope I'm getting that right. With a single claw on each hand. And yeah, we see this one only in deserts, and it was one of the few species that did not make a return in season 2. Barsboldia being another species that was only featured in deserts and did not return in season 2, which is slightly disappointing because I actually do like the Barsboldia. It's a very interesting looking hadrosaur. We then have the Mectosaurus, which did make a return. So the Mectosaurus was seen in the background of this scene in deserts, and then made an appearance in Badlands in season 2, where it was then devoured by Tarbosaurus. We also see Tarchia, where there were several in the background in deserts, and then we got a closer look at Tarchia in season 2 with Badlands. We then had Therizinosaurus, which did not make a return, sadly, in season 2. but was seen in deserts and in forests. The Mongolian Titan, or Mongolian Titanosaur as I've put here because it is not currently named, was seen in deserts and returned in Badlands. Cernosaurus, only seen in Season 1 in deserts. I mean, it didn't really have any place to really return in Season 2. But it was nice while it lasted, I guess. Dinochirus, another disappointing exclusion from Season 2. I would have loved to get more action from Dinochirus. I mean, it's seen as brilliant, but would have loved to see more of this bizarre dinosaur, which was only featured in freshwater. Machikosaurus was featured in 3 episodes, so it was featured in freshwater, islands, and swamps. So it got a bit more screen time than I think was really necessary. But hey, it's cool to get more screen time for a species we spent little time on. Dromaeosaurus from Ice Worlds did not make a return in Prehistoric Planet 2, but we did see it in this episode. Edmontosaurus did make a fair few returns. So we saw it first in Ice Worlds, I think? Was it Ice Worlds first? Maybe. Probably was, actually, yeah. So Ice Worlds, then forests, and then it was swamps in Season 2. I think I've got that right. Ornithomimus we see in freshwater, Ice Worlds, and then makes its return in North America in Prehistoric Planet 2. Allura Titan also did not make a return, but was seen in Ice Worlds in Season 1. Troodon, also only in Season 1, so I did a bit of research into this, trying to find what this species was. It's not Pectinodon, because Pectinodon looks different to this one, and found that Troodon actually did exist in the Maastrichtian, and Troodon is still a valid genus, I think. Like, that's what I found, that Troodon formosus is still a valid genus. There were just a lot of other taxons put under its name. But I do believe this is Troodon. We then go to Antarctopelta, from, of course, Antarctica, which did not make a return in Islands in Prehistoric Planet 2 because, well, I don't believe it's found on Snow Hill Island. I think it was it James's Island? James Ross Island? Let me just quickly double check, because I was looking this up earlier. Yeah, James Ross Island. Indeed. Yeah, so it did make a return, but it was nice. The Antarctic Hadrosaur, which went unnamed. Now, there is actually a Hadrosaur that was discovered in Antarctica, but it still currently doesn't have a name. I couldn't find any actual names, but it is Maastrichtian, which is where this is set. Pachyrhinosaurus, another disappointing exclusion from Season 2. But, yeah, its scenes in Season 1 were certainly enjoyable. Nanooksaurus did make a return in Season 2. Only so briefly, doing a hunt on some Ornithomimus, but nonetheless, it made its return. Ostroposeidon was seen, well, the model at least, which in freshwater was questionable because I had no idea. I guess on the shores of the, like, where the Elasmosaurus was swimming in freshwater, I guess they just need to have some dinosaurs or prehistoric animals there to watch. But Ostroposeidon is seen in forests, twice actually, at least the model is, and was seen in freshwater, but that may have been like their earlier rendition of Repetosaurus, if that was indeed set at Madagascar, which it probably wasn't. But yeah, whatever. Triceratops, seen in forests, was also seen in freshwater as a dead carcass. It was also seen in swamps and North America, so I got 4 episodes in the season. Carnotaurus, only seen in forests. I would have loved to see the very interesting display of Carnotaurus once again. Corythoraptor did make a return in Season 2 in Badlands, as someone actually who commented on my video, apparently Corythoraptor is from desert. It is thought to have existed in drier environments. Yeah, so I didn't know that before, but I do now. Chandrasaurus was only seen in forests, sadly. Atrociraptor, also only seen in forests. As well as Anodontosaurus, the Ankylosaur. Talmatosaurus was only seen in forests, but it seems the model was changed to suit the Tethys hadros, which we'll get to in a second. There was also Zalmoxes and Paluda Titan, which were both in forests, but Zalmoxes returned in islands. Then we get to Tethys hadros from islands. Majungasaurus, Imperobata, or Imperobata, as Sir David Attenborough said it. The Morosaurus, Icysaurus, the Curicula, Prenocephaly. Yeah, I'm just gonna speed it up now. Like, I don't need to dwell too long on them. Like, these are all the most recent. Rajasaurus, Ostroraptor, Rapetosaurus, Pachycephalosaurus, Pyroraptor, Alamosaurus, Pectinodon, and yeah, that was all the dinosaurs. But now moving on to the non-dinosaurs, which are pterosaurs, marine reptiles, invertebrates, fish, other reptiles like snakes, crocodiles, lizards. Although I don't think we got a lizard, and amphibians as well. So the first we saw was Archelon, a large sea turtle. Mosasaurus, goes without saying. Tethydraco, Phosphatodraco, Alcyone, Barbarodactylus, Turangisaurus, Pycnodontfish, Scapitid ammonites, Caeciliu, Enantiornithines, Mongolian giant. So the Mongolian giant is an Azhdarchid, which was using the Quetzalcoatlus model in the show, but of course it wasn't Quetzalcoatlus in the regions it was in. Speak of Quetzalcoatlus, Beelzebufo, Cymolodon, Hatzegopteryx, Cymosuchus, Adalatherium, Matsoya, Shamosuchus, Phosphorosaurus, Hesperornis, Cephactinus, Nostoceros, Baculites, Diplomoceros, Mortonaria, Styginetta, Sphenodiscus, and Golobidens. And that is all the species. So that brings it to a total of 76. So, that is the whole roster of Prehistoric Planet. So we've got a variety of things. We've got a bunch of dinosaurs and a bunch of non-dinosaurs as well. I just wanted to speed it up at the end because it's a bit late right now. I don't want to be dwelling too long, and I've already talked about all these creatures before. So, yeah, so 76 is the current number that the show sits at. Pretty solid number. It's actually the same number that Planet Zoo started with when it released. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, interesting. But let me know what you think of the roster so far. So, yeah. Like, subscribe, all the normal stuff. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.